Hello. Welcome to today's Decay. It's November 30th, Louie, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. Yes, and on this day, here's everything that ever happened. L. Taylor Hansen was born in 1897. She, yes, that's right, she was a science fiction writer in the 20s through 50s, I want to say. Lucille Taylor Hansen, although she was billed as L. Taylor Hansen, and there were illustrations of her as a man because fandom at the time didn't think that women were writers or were good writers or needed to be involved with science fiction writing, which is like mind-blowing. Also, because in a pre-World War II science fiction fandom world, many people, like let's say Forrest J. Ackerman, believed in that like humanity could reach some kind of utopia, that like we could be one world species. Eventually, for instance, like adopting Esperanto as like one language for the whole world. Yeah, so many years later, she stepped out of the shadows and like identified herself as, actually, I'm not this random guy you've illustrated me as, but Lucille Taylor Hansen. Again, Corey Ackerman, years later, because he grew up in the early fandom in the 20s and 30s. Years later, in probably the 80s, put out an anthology called, what was it? Womanthology? Is that right? That's not right. Put a anthology collection of female writers from the 20s and 30s of all like weird tale, pulp, amazing story type stuff. And she features prominently because he's somebody who always celebrated the downtrodden, the odd, the unusual, and it is really unfortunate that that science fiction fans and writers can't foresee a world where women aren't second-class citizens or something. That's wild that you'd really be projecting flying cars but not equal rights. Yeah. So there's that. Lucille Taylor Hansen. And on this day, so she was born 1897. 1909, Robert Nighthawk was born, a Delta blues musician of a held in high regard. And on this day in 1966, the film Undertaker and His Pals premiered. So what are you going to do today with very little time? Sorry, my fault. I got distracted. It's been a day. It's been a day, hasn't it, Louie? Yeah. We're going to put on Undertaker and His Pals to call it an evening. So there you go. From us to you. Until tomorrow. Goodbye.